guys, Cosmos here from Dolly Games. In this video we're going to be doing an update on the cuties, so sort of a status update on top of the two previous videos that I did. So we now have with the cuties we now have a kind of a train going on. We have like the main character, the willpower, the sylph, and whatever cutie you have selected. For those who are not sure how to make this visible, it's you go to the cuties and you do follow. There are actually two buttons. There's one over here which is the follow and cancel follow, and that's just for visual effect basically. So if you cancel it, it's not visible. If you switch it on, it becomes visible. And the other one is this button, which is to rest and deploy, and this one is for battles where cuties are allowed. So it doesn't work on all the battles, but wherever they're allowed to appear, like Lord's Trial, they're allowed, for example. So that's what you need to do, deploy for it to appear. So the other thing is I have now 7 pages of cuties at various levels. The original 3 that I was leveling were the Void Ghost, which becomes a wolf when you upgrade it to 2-star, and I had also done some upgrades on other wolves because we thought at that time that you need same levels to evolve, which turned out to be false. You need just a level, you can consume a level 1 and that works just fine for evolving. And so that's why I have here a level 16 and a level 22 leftover wolves. Then I also have the Landos Warrior and Landos Champ, which were my 2 other non-wolf cuties that I had originally received. So those were being leveled up at that time. After that I have switched to the Tauren Gladiator, Undead Gladiator, and the wolf remaining. The wolf will probably be switched out later on as well because of attributes, but his bleed is helping at the moment, so I'll talk about that in a minute. Other than that, I've received a whole bunch of other cuties from summoning. Some of them I have several of the same, and that's why you see here the Tauren Gladiator at level 40. I actually just got him to level 40 and I wanted to do a video to evolve him. And for Tauren Gladiator I have received, I think, 2 more. There is one and there is another one, so I actually have 3 of them, so that's going to be no problem for evolving. My other one, the Undead Gladiator, I actually haven't received the second one, so even if he gets to level 40 he's going to get stuck, so I might have to switch him out for another one until I get lucky and get him via the summoning. Now remember, every 30 minutes, it's annoying, but we have to do it. Go to the feed and produce food again. Food is actually very important because here you see the example of the Undead Gladiator, which is at 1 star. Filling it up to the max, which is the 500 points. It gives you plus 20% stats. And that helps to win boss fights basically. And for 2 stars, the second level, so this is now level +1, plus 20%. The next one takes 2000 points, and that's a little bit too much for me right now. I don't want to invest just yet. I might have to do it if I get stuck at boss fights, but I don't really I'm a little bit uneasy in investing in the wolf. I'm not sure if I will use it, so when I'm not sure I don't use the items until I'm sure. So anyways, so that's a little bit of feeding the skills I haven't touched yet, but there is an important point to point out. So some people have sort of gone crazy thinking that the wolf here has a crazy bleed 12% per turn, which is really strong and so forth, but actually it's not written on the skill, so you could say it's the developer's fault there is a limit to the damage. So my wolf right now has the rend, which is his bleed skill, and what it does is there's a 20,000 damage maximum limit. So when I'm doing boss fights right now, his bleed always does 20,000 damage, not more, even though the boss has a higher HP and can take more. But today I was talking to a friend on my server, Valerie, and she shared that when you level this up to level 2, the limit of 20,000 goes up to 35,000. So that's an interesting piece of information. And that also indicates that maybe when we go up to level 10 at some point, if we use the wolf and if we bring it up to level 10, there could be a higher amount of damage. Of course, we need more data to guess it. It's not really possible to do it accurately using just two data points of 20,000 and 35,000. In terms of accessories, I have not upgraded them too much. I just made a level 5 for my wolf. I'll probably do the same for the Tauren, which we will evolve right now. I haven't assigned a pact yet. That is to share. You could assign your cuties which have upgraded accessories, which required minimum level 10. To unlock the special ability, but because the trigger rates are like 2%, I don't really care about it right now, so I don't want to over invest in an accessory until I'm sure that it's okay to do so. Right, and then in the diagram there is nothing new to share. Oh yeah, there is one thing. When you're summoning, there are actually, right now I cannot show it because my summon is ongoing, but there are actually recipes. There are several pages. So for example, we know that 3 items gives a random cutie, 4 items of the Otaric type gives an Otaric map cutie, and 4 items of the Merkin type gives a Merkin cutie, and so forth. But I'm not 100% sure how those recipes get unlocked from the question mark page, because I have done 4 Merkin items summoning like minimum 5 times, and it has not unlocked me that page yet. So although I know what it says, I don't see it on my account. So if somebody knows that, please share. Now, coming back to one of the main points of this video was to do the evolution, and I also have seen some people confused on how to evolve cuties, and I completely agree with them. It's not clear because you would expect that you want to evolve from the attributes window, because that's where you reach your level 40, like here. And here it says max, so you would expect that you would evolve from here, but that's not done from here. It's done via feed. So you have to go to feed, then you have to level up the feed to the max before you're allowed to evolve it. That forces you to use the food, so you cannot not use it. So right now he is at feed level 1, which is max plus 20% stats. It's max for his 1 star, and of course once I evolve it, like the wolf, sorry, let's go back to the wolf here, then he will be allowed to go to a +2, like here, 2000 points. So since I have already done the feed, that's pretty straightforward. About the feed, so I have also put an article on Cute Feed Guide, feed combinations. Of course, we have the 3 food items, their stats, distribution I talk about, and then the various combinations that we can do. So we see here that 2 mushrooms and 4 kebabs make up 100% success rate, yielding 180 points, which is the best combination to use, but that leaves truffles behind. And so you'd have to use some kind of combination with truffles, either this one or this one, in order to use up truffles as well. So whatever you want to use, basically bring it up to the max. Also, you don't have to use all 6 items. Sometimes the feed comes up to almost the end. Then of course you need just a few items to finish up to the top. There is no point going overboard, I think. So that's about the feed. So right now, once you get the feed up, you do evolve from the feed tab, which is bringing you this horrible window because it doesn't tell you what level these are, and some of these are different levels, and I had that problem with the wolf. I didn't know which one are the level 16, 20 something and which is the level 1. Luckily for the Tauren Gladiator, the other 2 are level 1. So and he will also of course unlock the poisonous spike, which is a similar kind of a bleed like the wolf has. So that's gonna help me with the boss fight. So anyways, I actually haven't tried to use a different type of a cutie in this evolve, but I read that it has to be the same. But let's actually, do I have a level 1 wolf that I don't need? Yeah, I think those last 2 are level 1. Let's try it out. Let's see if it works. This one should be level 1. And is there a gold difference if I use the Tauren? No, gold is the same. So if I take a wolf instead of the Tauren, it actually allowed. So you don't even need to have the same type. That's very good news for my Undead Gladiator, which is actually leveling all by himself right now. So let's go have a look at him. Maybe he's also ready. No, he's still far away. It's level 36, but I might leave him. Actually, no, I won't. I'm gonna add the Tauren because he is more important right now, because he got the bleed. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of this guy and switcheroo to the Tauren, because what you want to do is you want to recover their level as fast as possible, and leveling up the Undead Gladiator from 36 takes a bit too much time, whereas the Tauren is gonna level up really fast because he's starting from level 1 again, but this time he has 2 stars, which is 2 skills. So this is better. I want to rush this. I'm normally training 3 cuties per go, but I'm rushing this right now because I have 10 boss fights still to do today. And for these 10 boss fights, I want to have him with the I wanted to have him with the 2 skills, 2 stars, and therefore I need him to level up quickly to at least even 20-ish. I think that takes about 6 to 8 hours. I don't remember exact, so that I can do today's boss fights with him. So that would be good. I'm at the moment on Banshee Wetlands 2, X536, so that's also sort of a status report. That's on Fetid Swamp. So for the I'm already receiving the third summoning items from the third map, basically, and trying to get as deep as we can so that we have a higher X per minute. So he's already level 2. Because it goes really fast in the beginning. So we're gonna leave him there, and we're gonna go back and look at him in the cuties window. Where art thou, Mr. Tauren Gladiator? So here he is. His stats died back to very little, of course, but they are gonna quickly go back up. I think around level, my guildie told me around level 20 or so, he is as strong as the level 1, star 1 level 40, something like that. So as a rough idea, and that's where I want to get him today in a bunch of hours so that I can do those 10 boss fights with him. Because this is the skill I was waiting for. This skill, it does make a big difference when before I had evolved my wolf, and they were all using the first skills, which is just a damage skill. You get stuck at a certain boss and you cannot pass unless you add more damage, and that's what you need the second skill for. because this one adds, because as I mentioned earlier, the bleed is limited to 20,000, but 20,000 is still more than the normal damage that they do. They usually do something like 4, 6, 8, 10,000 damage, whereas the bleed is doing 20,000 damage, so it's as good as 2-3 attacks combined. Of course, it's not always available. It's every 30 seconds, but it does last for 3 turns, so that's 3 times 20,000 damage that you didn't have before, and that helps you get deeper. So now that I have gotten my second one up and running, so he has, I think it's exactly the same. Let's say 120%, bleed 3%, and this one as well, 120 and bleed 3%. It's exactly the same skill, just a different icon, so that hopefully it'll both apply at the same time. This is going to help me add more damage output. So I'll have 2 of 3 of my team doing bleeds, and this guy's gonna help with healing. That's the plan, at least. But I also know that some bosses get angry fast, so it's possible that we need to go for max damage rather than using any heals, or he's a good tank, for example. But that will depend on what type of bosses we encounter, and I suspect that we need to level up several different kinds of cuties so that we can change the party depending on the boss. But for now, I have the wolf, the tauren gladiator, and undead gladiator. So that's what we get for evolving. So now that he has evolved, he still has his accessory, I believe, or he didn't have it. I forgot to check that. Somebody told me the accessory disappears, but I don't think it disappears. We checked it. Yeah, it's still equipped. Here it is. Let's level that up. I think that's the one he's wearing. We'll just do 1 level to make sure that that's the one he's wearing. Let's go back to our dear tauren, not the elite. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Yeah, that's the one, level 2. It's very difficult to figure out, but yeah, it's the level 2 here in gray, small gray letters. It says level 2, and res reduction 5 to 50. So the accessory stays, and let's do a couple more levels. I don't know, let's put 100. Where am I? 3. 50, not 100. Okay, we're getting closer. I just want to get to 5. I think 5 is a good number for now. 10 is when the so-called speciality unlocks, but I don't need it right now. Okay, so we're at 5. For 2 of my cuties, that's 1,000 extra res reduction, so 5,000 is base. At 5 you have 6,000. Of course, the more you have, the more damage they will do, but I'm trying not to overdo it, because yeah, there's maybe, you know, I prefer to go slowly, let's say it like that. Who knows, maybe some event will come which will require us to do that, and I won't have some items left. So that's the levels. Let's already see his, just in the meantime, he's level 5 already, so that's good. Where are you? So there you are. So his stats are going, it was 20,000, now it's already up close to 24 and so forth. It's gonna fill up. So the feed now, you see he's back to level 0, so we need to fill him up. So I'm going to use the 2 mushrooms, 4 kebabs to get him there, and I think that's it. And if you would use 1 more, that would be too much. So you need to use a smaller quantity. So here you see it's a bit difficult to see, but it says 360 out of 500. whereas the mushroom kebab combination gives 180. So and there's no reason to waste points. So if you do that, you could use a different combination which gives less points. Maybe with truffles. Let's see, does that work? If you remove one kebab, kebab was 20. Yeah, kebab was 20. So removing one would remove 40 points. So that won't work. You could remove one. Yeah, it's. You could do another one of these, but with 3 kebabs, and that would be the exact amount. 1, 2, and 3 there. So you don't put the 4th, and that should give. It doesn't say it here, but it shows with the red that it's basically okay, and that brings him to feed level 1. Again, I'm not gonna do the feed level 2 because it's costing too much, and I don't have too many. I'm trying to have some food items left as well, but that's about his feed, and that's already his stats plus 2%. So if we go back to the attributes, you see he had started with 20,000, now he's at 28 after leveling up to level 5 and getting then another 20% from the food percentage. The skills I won't touch for now, but I am planning to level it up back to level 2 for one of them, just to confirm that indeed the 20,000 becomes 35,000. If that's the case, I will increase the torrent for sure. Actually, let's do that as well right now. Train. Now for this we need to use up cuties, but I'm not sure. So 1 will give 100. We need 5. Let's see, I have 3 of these. I have 3 of these. What else do I have? I have 3 of these. Anything else? Maybe another torrent. Yeah, let's use another torrent. That was it, right? Yeah, another torrent. That would bring him to 2. So here it says deals 5% more damage and causes the bleed from 3% to 4%, but it doesn't talk about those limits, which is the most important. And so the gold cost is actually quite expensive for all the cutie operations, but we do earn gold, so that's I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But let's train that as well. Alright, and now he'll have a level 2, and I did this not for the percentage, not for the damage, but for the increase of the limit. So I'm not gonna do the boss fights now because he's still at low level, but I will test it later on. And I probably I trust my my server mates, so I expect it to be 35,000 damage instead of 20,000 damage, which is gonna help to kill the bosses. So that's the plan. The accessory, I leveled it up to 5. I did the same for the wolf, 2 stars, and I'll do the same for my 3rd cutie when he levels up. And that's all, I think, as a status update for the cuties. I've also posted an article on the blog for their experience per level, and there's a table analysis, and this is version 1, so already some people have given feedback of additional data. So I'm gonna work on when I have time to do a version 2 to make it more accurate than it currently is. But already the lower levels are correct. It's just after level 40 I think where it gets not accurate, because there's a jump in experience, which I did not have that data before. So yeah, and my blog is at wartune.dollygames.com. And otherwise remember, you can play free games at dollygames.com. They're all free to play. That's my gaming portal, and all the links and information is in the description of the video. Also, if you enjoyed my videos, please do click on like and subscribe and share with others so that everybody can benefit from the knowledge and tips and so forth. Otherwise, if you have additional info or feedback, please put it down in the comments of the video or comments of my blog articles. And that's about it. Thanks for watching and have a very nice day.